Today, you join us.
I can see that.
On our first trip to one of the Embryo Lakes. And the lake we're on today is called Baulking Lakes.
Remember that journey in?
I'm still drowning.
Dear. Right, let's go. You're joining myself and Mark at Baulking Lakes.
Yep, our first trip to an Embryo Lake.
Indeed, and we booked off some time so we could come when it's quiet, mate.
We certainly did.
So we're not working, we're fishing today.
We are.
And we're going to make the most of our couple of nights, mate.
Definitely. The weather's supposed to change tomorrow, so we're going to make the most of the...
Yeah.
But it's great conditions at the moment. Overcast, got a nice chop on the surface.
Even though a bit of sun, and we've seen plenty of carp, more importantly.
We have. When we got here this morning, we pulled up in the car park, had a walk round, and in front of the swims where we are now, over the 20-minute period, must have seen 20 fish roll.
Yeah, I must admit I was a bit dubious about coming to a new lake, not having seen it before. Obviously we did what most do, check it out online, see what we could find. Obviously got some good information from Josh Bennett, who sort of put us onto the water, and yeah, I mean, as soon as we sort of came round to the corner, had a quick little scout, we saw fish. Sort of puts you straight at ease, and we think, right, okay, well, we know where to go. We still had a good look round though, mate. We
did. So if you don't know this Baulking Lake, so it's a 20-acre lake.
Yep.
14 swims, and it's situated just between Swindon and Oxford, so not far from our doorstep, Steve, really.
No, but the good thing is, I think, you know, we have to highlight you can only have 10 anglers at a time.
Yeah, so the venue's available for lake exclusive sessions for up to 10 anglers, as Steve said.
Yeah.
Or you can have smaller groups, so you can book it out exclusively for 10, or you can have 2 3-angler groups and a group of 4 as well to make the 10 up.
Sure.
So there's never more than 10 anglers on the lake, so 14 swims. So if you do
nice empty ones.
Yeah, so if you do pick a duffer, at least you have an option to move. Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, from what we've seen, not like we're expert because it is our first time down here, they've been quite spread.
They have.
The bulk is, you know, we went for a peg 6, I think we're in.
We did.
And there's quite a few out in the sort of centre area, but you know, we've seen fish to the left-hand corner, to the right-hand corner, and even on the far side.
Yes, and the lake's stocked with more than 580 carp to mid-30s. So, you know, there's plenty of fish to aim at.
We had a couple already, haven't we?
We have had a couple already.
So we can definitely report we've had them to, was it mid-20 you had?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of 20s, we've bumped a couple, but yeah, it's looking really good.
It is.
I'm looking forward to the nights ahead.
Yeah, we certainly are.
We'll sort of figure it out as we go, but back to a bit of the lake sort of rules and
so
setup, I suppose.
The general rules, the rules for fish care, and there's some bait rules as well. They're all very sensible, and they're all online on the Catch app. So make sure you check these out before you arrive, as there are specific bait restrictions that change at different times of year. So it's worth checking it out. And also, you can use 3 rods, but you're only allowed to use a zig on one of those. So, you know, that's worth mentioning, I think.
To be fair, all of our bites have been on that one rod, haven't they, mate?
They have. They have so far.
5 or 6, you know. If you could use more, we might have had more, but obviously you've got to comply with the fishery rules, as we would. So yeah, 1, and it isn't stopping us from catching, mate. So Hey, I've just seen a show out there, Mark.
And to be fair, we haven't put any bait out yet either, have we?
No, we didn't. We wanted to sort of tiptoe in just to see what happens, to sort of get a feel for the water. We don't know what's happened before. We don't know who's been down here, so we are literally just going on a little bit of the information we've got and found, and obviously what we can see in front of us, mate. So 6 bites, we've only been fishing 5-6 hours, so, you know, really good start. Yeah,
very pleased. And another point worth pointing out as well, all the swims have jetties, so make sure you bring stage stands or a rod pod If you don't have these, you could use long bank sticks that you could put in next to the jetties, but yeah, just to give you a heads up really.
Don't do what I did and leave your butt rests at home. So I had the stage stand, the buzz bars, and no butt rests. So.
And no screws for them,
and
Steve,
no
either.
screws. So you know, I started really well.
Yeah. So the back panel in my van is now hanging off because Steve's nicked screws out of it to put his stage stands in.
I'm useless, but I know I can always count on Mark.
There's also no water or power on site.
No.
There is a toilet, but make sure you bring your own water supplies and your power packs and things as well. 20-acre lake, depths down to 40 foot plus in the centre, which has its advantages because it makes this place a great winter venue as well.
Yeah.
There's very little weed. We've had one fish came in with a little bit of weed on it, but generally
no issues at the moment.
No, we found nothing else. So creating your own feature with bait is what we've been told to do as well. So they do like bait in here, so don't be scared.
We've got a good selection of pellets and corn and some freezer bait as well, mate, haven't we? So we are sorted.
Yeah, so between our 6 rods, we've got 2 zigs, a couple of Ronnies and a couple of solid bags as well. So we're keeping our options open. Next step is to mix up some spod mix and start putting in some bait, because the fish, apart from the one that Steve's just seen, over the last hour or so, they're not showing as much in front of us now.
No.
So we think it's probably a pretty good time to put some bait in, set a stall out, and just see what the rest of the day brings, mate, I think.
We've got some work to do.
Time for Steve to get the kettle on.
I'll put the kettle on, mate, if you're going to spot the bait.
Yeah.
That's easy.
So hopefully you will see us again with some of these stunning carp.
Despite a fantastic start, the fishing soon slowed. We knew that we didn't have long before the rain came in, so we got our spod mix up together, baited those rods, had some lovely food and settled in for what remained to be a very quiet night. Well, good morning. As you can see, Mark is finally playing a fish. From yesterday afternoon, it went pretty quiet, didn't it, mate?
Oh, that's an understatement, yeah.
Well, that was the kindest way of putting it.
Yeah.
We had a great start, a very busy few hours, and had 5 or 6 bites, and then it pretty much shut up shop. Despite us plugging away, finding spots, baiting up for the night, nothing happened. But we were just contemplating a move, and Mark's left-hand zig rod again has gone, and he reckons it's half decent.
Feels okay. It would take anything at the moment, Steve, to be fair.
To be fair, as long as it's not a bream, which by the look of the bend in that rod, mate, it ain't.
Well, the weather changed completely overnight. From about 11:45 last night, the rain started, and it was on and off all night.
Yeah.
It's been pretty grim this morning. It's misty rain now, but
it's meant to be clearing up, so we're hopeful. We're obviously going to keep plugging away. We will shut this off and try and get this fish in, which we will show you. And yeah, reposition the rods, and hopefully we'll have some more updates for you soon.
so that brings our session to an end.
Interesting trip.
It is an interesting trip. The heavens have chucked everything they can at us.
Yes, a bit of a change in the background behind us. As you can see, we're in t-shirts. You think, you know, it was sunny and it was awesome, but the truth is everything is absolutely saturated. So we have chucked it all in the van, quick change in clothes, and we're under the canopy, and it's raining now, isn't it, mate?
So I think this is our 3rd or 4th full change of clothes since we've been here.
Yeah.
It's been a wet one.
Weather has not been kind, but thankfully the fishing has, mate.
It has.
What a trip.
And we have had some sunny spells as well, but yeah, what a trip.
Weird.
as we said at the start, our first experience of an embryo complex.
Yeah.
First time at Baulking Lakes, and not disappointed with the trip, and looking forward to a return, I think, as well.
Well, I think the last update was we was playing one in the morning, and then we sort of cut off from there because it went nuts, didn't it? We were getting, you know, takes back to back. As soon as you put the rod out, it would go. As soon as you put the rod out, it would go, and pretty much it all came on the jig, didn't it, mate?
and over a period of 50 minutes, we had 5 fish.
Five bites,
literally every time we threw the zig back out, it pretty much went again. So that was great, and we thought, here we go, we're going to fill our boots. And as
the only thing that came in after that flurry was the rain
again. yeah, and it definitely moved the fish.
Yeah.
One thing we have learned about this place that we've seen in this session is that the fish, because of this rain and wind, they have moved with the wind a lot. We did chase them a bit yesterday, didn't we?
I was going to say the fish have done more laps than we have, but we tried to keep up with them. I'm not sure if that was the right thing to do, but you know, there was the option to move to a few different swims, and we went on the shows, to be honest.
We did.
Learned a lot.
We have
managed 19 takes.
19 takes, yeah.
Fair few of those good 20s, a couple of mid 20s as well. So yeah, I mean,
and I think
learned a lot.
Yeah, hopefully you'll see from the pictures as well.
Yeah.
The carp in here are immaculate. That is one thing I would say.
Definitely.
They were gorgeous fish. We've had fish from mid to upper doubles. As Steve said, most of the fish we've caught on this trip were 20s.
Yeah, really nice ones.
They do go bigger than that in here, and we will return to target some of those. But they didn't need to be 30s, to be honest. They fought with everything they had. We've had a great trip. Like Steve said, we have got soaked. We've been sat in t-shirts a couple of times, and then the wind gets up again and the rain comes across, and we're heading for shelter.
There's a few clips of Mark casting the zig back out in torrential rain. I think that's, you know, commitment to the cause. And Mark has fished really well. To be fair, I chucked the rods out a couple of times, but we weren't really concentrating on most of those bites. Have all come from your swim on the left hand or the middle on the zig, mate. So.
Yeah, which is unusual because speaking to the bailiffs and things here, most of the fish here are caught over bait. I think because of the conditions that we hit this session with the wind and the rain, I think they were just more nomadic. They were just following the wind, and hopefully we chose the right tactics.
We might have got it wrong. Maybe we should have, you know, pursued the baited spots for a bit longer, but we acted on what we saw, and you know, a couple of flurries of takes, and the numbers soon stacked up. So we thought, you know what, it can't be too far wrong. But I think next time when we're back down, we will try those baited spots for a bit longer.
Definitely.
And keep a zig out as always.
Yeah, but with the fish showing in those upper layers, we had to put the zig out, and
it'd be silly not to.
The rules here as well are that with your 3-rod setup, you're only allowed to fish one zig. So we were throwing Ronnies at showing fish and things as well, but the zigs were king for us this trip.
100%. With the depth of water, you know, a lot of the time they were blasting through, and as we've said, you know, they were moving a lot. So it's not like they were heads down, destroying the bottom, didn't see much fizzing. A lot of what we saw in the shows were quite spread, so they weren't tightly grouped or anything like that. You know, I think everyone would have a chance around the lake. You know, you had fish over our session across every peg, didn't you?
We did. Yeah, so, it was good. So,
Baulking Lakes.
Yeah, and I think we'll end with just saying a massive thank you to 2 bailiffs, Josh and Jeff.
Yes, absolutely.
They make you feel very welcome.
Loads of info.
Yeah, so we couldn't have been made to feel more welcome, Steve, could we?
No, it was fantastic first trip, mate, and I can't wait to get booked back in. I don't know if we'll do another one in the depth for winter, but definitely for the start of next season. It's only time keeping us away, not through the lack of...
With the depth of water, and the bailiffs do feed the fish here as well in between, so it should have good winter form. So I would be very surprised if you don't see a Baulking Lakes take 2 from us in the winter. So watch this space and we will see you all soon.